Okay, we're going to do a egg Jeff muffin at Will's request. We've already done a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, but this is done just a little bit differently, and so we're going to do a separate video on it. The first thing I do when I do these is I get everything ready. So you can see I've got my skillet with a little pat of margarine ready. Got the egg, the cheese, got the bacon out. Now this is already pre-fried bacon that I'm just heating back up. So I always fry up a mess of bacon, as you know. And then over here, already in the toaster oven, I've got the Thomas English muffin split. I do it face down, and it's ready to go. On toast. So everything is ready. And that way, once things start get going, I can do things rapidly. The thing that I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put the bacon in the microwave because we'll be heating that up. And now I'm ready to go. All right, so the first thing that we do is, I'm using a gas range, but if you guys are using a electric range or whatever, it's not really going to matter. Just turn it on medium, and then what we're going to do is we're going to just warm up the butter and cover the skillet. I take my two fingers that have, my hands have been washed. I take my two fingers and just, again, there's a pretty good thickness to this butter, so you don't have to worry about it, your fingers touching the skillet and burning yourself or anything. And I just make sure it's all covered, and then if you want, you can just take the skillet and just move it around just like we did on the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. So at this point, I'm going to just let it settle in the middle and melt down. Now, what I'm going to tell you is once this gets melted down, I'll crack the egg in it, and what I found for timing is that if I start the toaster oven with or I guess a toaster if you don't have a toaster oven, with the English muffin, as soon as the egg is cracked, then it all comes out perfectly at the same time. It's just something that's I've fortunately found out over the years. So we'll wait for this to melt down. I might have cut it a little bit too big of a pat of margarine, but we're almost done. Okay, so the butter is melted. I'm going to crack the egg, open it up, and then, as you've seen before, I use just the shell of the egg to break the yolk, and then take the spatula just to kind of form the egg, and then, like we talked about, I'm going to go over here and just start the toaster. So we'll just let that go while we're doing this. And all we're doing is we're going to wait till this cooks up and it's firm, and then we'll show you the next steps. Okay, so we're almost there. Again, what you want to do, we're on the biscuit. At a certain point after I flipped it, I'd put the egg or the cheese in it and then fold it over. On the muffin, we don't have to do that because we've got more of a surface area on the English muffin to deal with than the smaller biscuits. Again, when you can easily move it around like this, that's the time to flip it. So I'm going to take this, the spatula underneath, flip it over. Okay, at that point, I usually take the burner down to low. Okay, and I'm going to move that around a little bit. Okay, at this point, I'm going to cook the bacon, just heat it up for about, anywhere between 12 and 15 seconds. This is actually thick sliced bacon, so I'm doing 15. I'm going to take the cheese, just open it up and just lay it on top, like so. Again, it's on low. bacon out. And I'll, fold it over to get all the grease out, and also cools it down just a little bit so you can actually work with it. And then you can tear it in 2s or 3s. I'm just going to do 2s for this one. Okay, and now I've got it covered up. At this point, because I think I'm about ready, and I think that the egg is, it's been cooked long enough. You don't want to overcook it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat off. It's going to still be cooking for, a little bit because the skillet is still hot. I'm going to go over here. I have a plate. I'm going to check my English muffin. And, okay, it's not quite ready. But you see that brown right there? That's what you want it to look like, a little bit more. Okay, so maybe 1 more minute and we'll be ready to go. And that's why I've turned the heat off, because I don't want this to overcook. But it'll be fine. So in just a second here. By the way, Will, when you're watching this, you did the camera work. So if you don't like the camera work, it's all your fault. I think we're about ready. It doesn't take much. Doesn't take long. I'm just going to take a look at this. Yeah, you see I've got a little bit more brown, over it, so we're ready to go. You can see how that's a little bit toasted. If it was a little bit more brown, that would be fine, but we're good to go. And, we're basically there, where all I do now is I take the spatula underneath it, okay? Lay it on the bottom, obviously, of the English muffin. Use your finger. If you don't want to use your finger, use a knife or a fork and just slide it off. Put your top on top, and there you go. There's your Egg Jeff muffin.